Imagine this. You're talking to a woman, maybe someone you care about, or someone you want to impress. And then it happens. Her energy shifts. Her eyes flicker with something different. Less admiration, less interest. You don't know why, but she does. Because women can sense weakness instantly. Not through words, but through subtle, unspoken cues, your body language, your mindset, your energy. And here's the brutal truth. Most men have no idea they're giving off these signals. But what if I told you there are 7 clear behaviors that scream weakness, and that Stoicism holds the key to reversing them? By the end of this video, you won't just recognize these mistakes. You'll know exactly how to eliminate them and build the kind of strength that commands respect. Let's get into it. 1. You seek validation. If you constantly look for approval, whether from your partner, friends, or even strangers, you're sending a clear signal. You don't believe in your own worth. And if you don't, why should anyone else? Women sense this immediately. They notice when you need their reassurance to feel good about yourself. It's in the way you hesitate before speaking, the way you seek their reaction before forming your own opinion, and the way you try too hard to be agreeable. And here's the hard truth. Nothing is less attractive than a man who relies on others to feel valuable. Why? Because when you chase validation, you put yourself in a position of weakness. You let others decide your worth instead of owning it yourself. A man who needs to be told he's enough will never truly be enough in the eyes of others. The Stoic solution: build inner confidence. Stoicism teaches that external validation is fleeting. It's unreliable, temporary, and completely out of your control. True confidence must come from within. If you base your self-worth on what others think, you will forever be at their mercy. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Instead of waiting for approval, approve of yourself. Set your own standards. Live by your own values. Speak with conviction, not because you want to be liked, but because you stand by what you say. The moment you stop seeking approval, you become someone worthy of it. Because the man who walks into a room needing nothing from anyone, he's the one who commands the most respect. 2. You avoid conflict. Being easygoing is one thing. Being afraid of conflict is another. If you constantly avoid difficult conversations, dodge confrontation, or back down the moment things get uncomfortable, women notice. And they don't just notice, it changes the way they see you. They see a man who lacks backbone, a man who prioritizes comfort over courage. And deep down, no woman truly respects a man who fears standing up for himself. Even if she doesn't say it, she will feel it. Because a man who avoids conflict is a man who will sacrifice his own needs just to keep the peace. Think about it. Have you ever stayed silent when you should have spoken up? Have you ever let someone walk over you just to avoid making a scene? Have you ever agreed with something you didn't believe in just because it was easier than standing your ground? If so, understand this. Avoiding conflict doesn't make you peaceful. It makes you powerless. The Stoic solution: face conflict with courage. Stoicism teaches that conflict isn't something to fear. It's an opportunity for growth. It forces you to sharpen your convictions, test your resilience, and prove to yourself and to others that you stand for something. When you avoid conflict, you send a clear message. I care more about avoiding discomfort than I do about my principles. But the man who embraces conflict when necessary, the man who can calmly, firmly, and confidently hold his ground, he commands respect, not just from women but from everyone. As Seneca put it, brave men rejoice in adversity, just as brave soldiers triumph in war. This doesn't mean you should go looking for fights. It means you should never back down from one when it truly matters. If someone disrespects you, address it. If your partner crosses a boundary, call it out. If a tough conversation needs to happen, have it. Because a man who refuses to stand up for himself will never be truly respected by others. 3. You're reactive, not proactive. Do you let small inconveniences ruin your day? Do you lash out in frustration when things don't go your way? Do you let other people's words and actions dictate your emotions? If your mood constantly shifts based on external events, traffic, an unexpected bill, a disagreement with a friend, women see it as a sign of instability. And here's the truth: instability equals weakness. A man who lacks control over his emotions lacks control over his life. If you're easily rattled, if you snap under pressure, if your emotions dictate your actions instead of the other way around, then you're not the one in charge. Your emotions are. Why women notice this instantly. Women, consciously or not, are wired to look for stability in a man. Not just financial stability or physical security, but emotional stability, the ability to remain steady even in chaos. A man who loses his temper over trivial matters, who sulks when things don't go his way, or who lets stress consume him is a man she can't trust to lead, to protect, or to endure hardship. And if she can't trust you to stay strong under pressure, she will never see you as a strong man. The Stoic solution: control your reactions. A strong man doesn't let emotions control him, he controls them. Instead of reacting impulsively, he pauses. He observes. He responds with deliberation, not desperation. Epictetus put it best: it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is the foundation of Stoic power. Life will test you. People will provoke you. Unexpected problems will arise. How you handle them is what defines you. Here's how you shift from reactive to proactive. Pause before reacting. Instead of snapping or complaining, take a breath. Think before you speak. Detach from what you can't control. Traffic, rude people, bad weather, none of these deserve your emotional energy. Let them go. Focus on solutions, not emotions. When a problem arises, don't dwell on it. Find a way to handle it. Cultivate an unshakable mindset. The world can throw chaos your way, but your mind is your fortress. Build it strong. A reactive man is a slave to his emotions. A proactive man commands them. And the latter is the one who earns respect, not just from women, but from the world. For you lack purpose. One of the biggest indicators of weakness isn't something you say, something you do, or even how you react. It's the absence of a clear direction in your life. A man without a purpose is like a ship without a rudder, drifting wherever the wind takes him. He reacts to life instead of shaping it. And women? They notice this instantly. Why women instinctively reject aimless men. Women are drawn to men with drive, ambition, and a sense of mission. This isn't about money, status, or fame. It's about knowing who you are and where you're going. If you lack direction, you signal weakness in the worst way. You wait for life to happen instead of making things happen. You have no higher calling, no challenge you're striving toward. You rely on others for purpose instead of creating your own. And here's the brutal truth. If you're not actively moving towards something, you're standing still. And stagnation is repellent. To women, to success, and to your own self-worth. The Stoic solution: live with intention. Stoicism doesn't just encourage us to have purpose, it demands it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." A man with purpose doesn't beg for attention. He commands it without even trying. Why? Because he's too busy pursuing something greater than himself. How to build an unshakable sense of purpose. Define your mission. What do you want to achieve? What impact do you want to make? What kind of man do you want to become? Set clear goals. Break your mission down into daily actions. Without concrete goals, your purpose remains a vague idea. Eliminate distractions. Cut out time-wasting habits, toxic relationships, and pointless pursuits that keep you from progressing. Commit to relentless improvement. Read, learn, train, and refine yourself every single day. Growth is non-negotiable. A man on a mission doesn't seek approval. He doesn't wait for permission. He moves with certainty, knowing he's building something worthwhile. And that is magnetic. Not just to women, but to life itself. 5. You're indecisive. Hesitation kills attraction. If you constantly second-guess yourself, whether it's choosing where to eat, making career moves, or deciding on life's big choices, women see it as a lack of confidence. And confidence is the foundation of respect. Why indecision is a sign of weakness. It shows you don't trust yourself. If you don't have faith in your own decisions, why should anyone else? It signals fear of failure. You're so afraid of making the wrong move that you make no move at all. This is the definition of stagnation. It forces others to take the lead. Women don't want to carry the mental load of decision-making for you. They want a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to go after it. Think about this. Would you follow a leader who hesitates at every turn? No. You doubt his ability to guide you. Women feel the same way about men who are stuck in indecision. The Stoic solution: trust yourself and take action. Stoicism teaches us that the only bad decision is no decision at all. Seneca put it bluntly: no wind is favorable to the sailor who has no destination in mind. A strong man decides and moves forward, even if it means making mistakes, because mistakes can be corrected. Inaction cannot. How to build decisiveness and stop hesitating. Make small decisions quickly. Start by committing to simple choices: what to eat, what to wear, what workout to do. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Detach from fear. Accept that mistakes will happen, and that's okay. Growth comes from learning, not avoiding. Set a time limit for decisions. Give yourself a deadline. Whether it's 10 seconds for small choices or a day for bigger ones, commit to a decision and execute. Trust your instincts. Overthinking leads to paralysis. Your gut, shaped by experience and logic, is often your best guide. A decisive man moves with purpose. He doesn't seek approval, doesn't wait for certainty, and doesn't crumble under pressure. And that's the kind of man women respect, and the world follows. 6. You're too nice, and that's a problem. Being kind is not the issue. The problem arises when kindness turns into weakness, when you're so desperate to please others that you sacrifice your own needs, values, and self-respect. Women can and will sense when a man lacks the strength to say no. They notice when you avoid conflict to keep the peace, or agree to things you don't truly want just to gain approval. And here's the brutal truth: they don't respect it. Why being too nice is a sign of weakness. You put others before yourself, even when it hurts you. A man who doesn't prioritize his own needs sends the message that his time, energy, and values are worth less than everyone else's. You fear rejection more than you value your integrity. If you always say yes to avoid upsetting someone, you're proving that their opinion of you matters more than your own self-respect. You let people take advantage of you. When you fail to enforce boundaries, others, consciously or unconsciously, will test your limits, and if they find none, they'll push further. You're predictable and unchallenging. Women are drawn to men who have their own opinions, passions, and convictions. If you agree with everything she says and never challenge her thinking, she'll lose interest fast. The Stoic solution: be kind but firm. Stoicism teaches that true strength lies in balance, in being both compassionate and immovable when necessary. Kindness without boundaries isn't kindness, it's submission. Seneca reminds us, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Conflict, challenges, and standing firm in your beliefs are necessary for growth. If you avoid them to be seen as nice, you're stunting your own development and repelling the very respect and admiration you seek. How to stop being a pushover and build respect. Learn to say no without guilt. Your time, energy, and values matter. Protect them. Set firm boundaries and enforce them. If someone crosses a line, call it out. They'll respect you more for it. Stop seeking approval. Make decisions based on what you believe is right, not what will make others like you. Disagree when necessary. Have your own opinions and express them with confidence. A strong man doesn't need to conform. A man who commands respect doesn't beg for it. He doesn't shrink himself to accommodate others. He stands firm, speaks with clarity, and values his own worth. And when you start doing that, you'll find that the world and women start respecting you in return. 7. You fear loss, and it controls you. The greatest weakness a man can display? The fear of losing what he has. If you're constantly worried about losing your partner, your job, your status, or even the approval of others, that fear seeps into everything you do. And women notice. When a man operates from a place of fear, it manifests in several ways. You become overly clingy. If you're afraid of losing her, you might start over-texting, seeking constant reassurance, or trying too hard to please. Instead of drawing her closer, this behavior pushes her away. You tolerate disrespect. Fear of loss makes men accept behavior they shouldn't. Whether it's a partner testing boundaries, a boss undervaluing them, or friends taking them for granted. You avoid taking risks. Whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, fear keeps you stagnant. You stay in unfulfilling jobs, bad relationships, or comfort zones, just because change is uncertain. You become reactive instead of decisive. When fear drives your actions, you act out of desperation instead of power. And nothing is less attractive than a man who seems like he's afraid of the next move. The Stoic solution: accept that loss is inevitable. Stoicism teaches us that nothing is permanent. You will lose things in life: relationships, money, status, opportunities. The key isn't to avoid loss, but to become the kind of man who thrives regardless of what happens. As Marcus Aurelius said, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. When you embrace the temporary nature of everything, you free yourself from fear. You stop clinging and start living with strength and purpose. How to overcome the fear of loss and radiate strength? Detach from outcomes. Focus on what you can control, your effort, mindset, and character, not on external results. Adopt an abundance mindset. If a relationship, job, or opportunity disappears, trust that you can rebuild. A man who knows he can create success again never acts out of fear. Live in the present. Stop obsessing over the future or what might go wrong. Be present, be engaged, and trust yourself to handle whatever comes. Never chase, lead. Whether in relationships or life, be the man who chooses rather than fears being chosen. A man who isn't afraid to lose is a man who has already won. When you let go of fear, you command respect, radiate confidence, and attract the right people effortlessly. Final thoughts: strength is a choice. Weakness isn't about what you lack. It's about how you handle what you have. Every man has doubts, fears, and moments of uncertainty, but what separates the weak from the strong is how they respond to those challenges. Stoicism gives us the blueprint to build unshakable confidence, emotional control, and a clear sense of purpose. It's not about pretending to be fearless. It's about choosing to act with courage despite fear. When you embody these principles, women don't just see you differently, you see yourself differently. And that shift, it changes everything. The path forward. This isn't about perfection. It's about strength, authenticity, and self-mastery. So now the question is, which of these weaknesses will you eliminate first? Drop a comment below. Let's build strength together. And if this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. Stay sharp. Stay aware.